Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel. That's a beauty, right? Oh, hey, what is going on?
Whoa, we're here.
Whoa.
We're here. I mean, I can't imagine what's happening. Tonight. I have just no idea what's happening tonight.
No clue. We're kind of going down an alternate like a path. You know? You see how I threw that my own word in there,
dude? Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
Tucci,
Billy, it's always good to see you. It's always good to see you, Billy.
It's always good to see you too, brother. And how good is it to see the big man,
Mr. Blevins?
The big man is back. I mean, though the thing about it is, Billy, you didn't talk to him. He's got a garbage can in the background.
I did.
I mean,
what?
You didn't talk to him about the garbage can.
Because he's about to bob some.
You don't want to know what's in there. Let me just say
he wants to bob for apples. And that's what it's
snap.
It's a dating game. So as the show goes on, we're going to write people's name in the chat, put it on an apple in the bucket, and then Blevins is going to dive in there and pick out his date for this Saturday.
Oh, no.
I'm hoping it's Sushi Joe.
I told you after last time I wasn't doing that anymore, Nile. I'm free. Ooh. How can you expect any relationship to work when you get them literally out of a bobbing for apples? It
shit, dude. You just said literally.
Literally.
Figuratively.
Well, maybe we can pick one and then they can install something and then everything will work. We're just right. You know what I mean?
I like the sound of that.
Unfortunately, there's certain things in life that are detachable. There are certain things in life that are detachable.
Oh,
you know, 2021 has been interesting. 2022 is only going to be better. The year of detachable. Hashtag detachable. If you know, you know. And you know what? You better know Alterna Comics because the fall lineup is coming and we've got a great panel tonight. I'm excited.
Everybody.
I'm excited. Let's just I'm throwing it in like a shotgun blast. Ready. We got Peter Simeti.
Oh my God.
Ooh, yeah. Mr. Geronimo. Let's go. For the first time ever, with much regret, I'm sure by now, Mr. Tyler
Redcoy, the creator.
And the man in power. He's a Thiessen, Mr. Gleason. What? I don't even know what a Thiessen is, but I couldn't think of what would rhyme with Gleason. But I said it.
So a Keeson.
You don't need a reason to rhyme with Gleason.
You don't need a reason to have on Mr. Gleason.
That's right.
There you go.
He's got a reputation for being one of the most miserable people in comics.
Oh my God.
Never smiling. He's
never smiles.
Yeah.
Mighty Mascots.
We were talking about that on Saturday.
I just wish you would be quiet for a little bit and let other people talk.
For real.
I guess it's going in real quick.
Ain't fooling nobody.
And a big shout out to our chat. We've got so many actually new faces. Awesome. Our regular crowd.
Welcome.
That's great. That's great. Welcome everyone. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click that bell. You should probably find that all under Mr. Thiessen Gleason. That doesn't need a reason because he's already a subscriber to the channel. So click that notification so you know when we go live and we're uploading new content. And tonight we're talking Alterna. Man, this is an Alterna show. We've got the great fall lineup, which is actually a really cool idea. To throw it up there, let everyone just pre-order everything that's coming out for this fall. And man, Pete, have you done this before?
Crowdfunding, yeah. Oh no,
for a full lineup?
No. This is the first time.
What inspired you to do such a thing?
Why would you go all out?
Stick it to diamond real good. Motivation is revenge. Always revenge.
Again, he's gonna polish that Ted.
Then he gives in for revenge.
Yeah.
No,
I think it's pretty cool. It's a cool idea.
It's a great idea.
I think so too. And I mean, the other campaigns we did very different. It was reprints. Alternaween. It revolved around books that already existed. This is the first campaign we're doing that's 100% new books, and I didn't know how it was going to go because there's urgency to it, but not a ton of urgency because the books are being made. These are pre-orders. They're going to come out. They're going to be on Alterna Access after, of course, all the backers have their stuff shipped out. But so someone could just say, I'll wait till they're on the site. So we could have had like nobody back this campaign. It could have just been like, it's all getting made anyway. Who needs this? So the fact that people came out, they wanted to back it. They wanted to get the exclusives. They wanted to get a couple of the new things we had on there. It means the world. So thank you guys. If you have backed Indeed and spread the word, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
I am one of those backers, Pete. I will admit, I was at day one. I'm a big Alterna fan. I really love what's happened with Can't Kill Cade and Blood Realm, and also Rad Rose. That was a left hook. That's what I feel like about what happens with your books. Like, you think, oh, it's a revenge tale, and then it turns out there's this other hidden hook in it, right? You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Totally layers. Same with it came out on Wednesday, right? Your new cover that you did, which is awesome. But like, you think, oh, I'm just going to read these short stories that are just kind of these quick anthology bits, but each of them has this layer that you're like, wait a minute, this thing has there's like a whole well underneath this story.
Yeah, they stay with you, and you want to see more of them, which is hopefully you reach out to those creators. And a lot of people do. They'll reach out to the creators who have these short stories, and then they'll say, oh, will you do more? Or, do you think Alterna will expand it and make it into a book? I mean, we had Legends of Log. That happened with them. And they caught fire, and it was like, let's just, much to the chagrin of Log, like catching on fire. But, the book takes over, becomes its own series, and then the readers find it there as well. So you never know what's going to happen in any issue if it came out on a Wednesday, but every single issue just at Alterna in general it's so top notch, and enough about me talking about it. We got Keith Gleason here at Mighty Mascots, Tyler Wentland of Red Koi, and that Geronimo guy who does Blood Realm.
This guy right here.
I know you got. I mean, the whole the star-studded fall 2021 here. I mean, you got some great looking books here, man.
Yeah,
some great cover art.
Batsy,
some Rob
Wolf
Willis.
and Batsy looks incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun title.
I can't wait to read that one.
It's so funny because we had no werewolf books at Alterna. And that's the reason that I signed on Rob Willis to do that. It came out in a Wednesday cover. And then by the time that came out, it's alongside Wolf and Batsy number 1 and 2. So now there's 3 different covers on there with werewolves on them. We went from no werewolves to 3 werewolves.
All werewolves now.
Yeah. And they're all secretly werewolves this month too at Alterna. So
nice.
But I love that, because what I loved about your take on it, we've seen a lot of werewolves in the crowdfunding world, though, Pete. I don't know they don't have the creator on there, but it's like this is there's a layered take to it. The art is fun and fresh, and this relationship between this woman and this wolf is part of this hook. And this is just kind of like this makes you immediately think of Swamp Thing, except swap a werewolf in the mix. You know what I mean? At least for me. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the vampiress, you get the werewolf, and it's a nice down-to-earth tale. They're just trying to find a place to belong. Don't we all just want to belong? Yes. And along the way, they got to eat some people, but you got to eat.
Gotta eat. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Well, let's start with Tyler, actually, because Tyler, this is the first time we've ever had you on the channel. If you can, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about your book that's in this campaign.
And remember, Tyler, this could be your last.
Fair enough. Seems about right for you, Tucci. It seems about right.
Very ominous.
Be careful, Tucci. The balding men are reigning supreme on this stream for once.
Right.
Yeah, I'm bald under here, Billy. Just remember.
Smarter.
So my first published comic was with Alterna. I had won an art contest for Valiant. I think back in 2015 or 2016, and that was, just kind of a random thing after a year of really trying to focus on getting my comics work up to par. So once I did that, I actually tried to create a short story, and it ended up, I still cheated. I did a retelling of Hercules' first trial against the Nemean lion, but kind of my interpretation of it. And Alterna was doing the If anthology at that time. So, sent it to Pete. We had a great back and forth. Pete had suggestions on how to make it better. And and you know, it was that first published story, and there were a few after that, and then it was short stories for a while until I just wanted to do something a little longer. And I can't remember what I had done. I had read a book a few years ago about the daughter of a Yakuza boss. And on the cover of her autobiography, she's got this great back tattoo in the Irizumi style.
Yeah, I read that book.
Yeah, Shoko Tendo.
Yeah.
Yakuza Moon. And I thought it was such a cool image, but I redid it as a samurai, because I found out there were, you know, female samurai and stuff like that. So I did a painting, and I was like, in the painting, I had this Japanese castle. And I was like, what's inside that castle? So then I ended up writing the first 2 issues of Red Koi. Originally, I was going to try it as my first crowdfunder. And, you know, it kind of just ended up turning into my first long form project. And one day Pete and I were at a show together, and we had, you know, developed a good relationship at that point. He came over to the table. He's like, what's this? I was like, oh, you know, I had like conveniently placed it towards his table. He's like,
Very
oh, you know,
nice.
something might be working. He's like,
Very
he's like,
nice.
He's like, why don't you send this to me? And at the time, like after that, like Alterna was just like going through so many things, like just growing and so many things were happening. And so Pete and I stayed in touch about it for, I don't know how much, it seemed like a while, but then, you know, he had some more great suggestions, gave it the green light. And it was originally just going to be those first 2 issues, but, you know, it turned into a continuing story, and I'm really glad it did, because, you know, you start a story as one person, and you kind of continue to grow, and you realize that that story is going to grow as well. And that's kind of where we are now. Issue 5's part of this campaign, and, you know, I'm wrapping up issue 6, which is going to be the start of the next chapter, and keep going from there.
You could have Red Koi crossover with She.
Yes, you can.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Nice.
There you go.
Nick
Nice.
Collis
Tyler is a guy among
We
them.
got a plan.
Let me
going
connect
on.
the 2 of you. Where are you?
Well, we have.
There it is.
Look out for the summer of 2022. Will be She Gatecrasher.
Oh,
Sweet.
So we got to talk about
Wow,
that.
was that a spoiler? Was that a spoiler?
Yes,
Billy?
that's going
Yeah,
to be
right
to
on it.
destroy all monsters of independent comics.
Ooh.
Awesome.
All
Sounds
y'all invited.
What?
Oh, really?
Man,
I'm invited. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
Be a little Pico action?
I'm just gonna show up.
I have
and
more
like,
She,
Yeah.
Billy, that I know what to do with. I got She books out the yazoo, and I got the omnibus coming.
Well,
so
thank
I'm,
you, Bill.
I'm
I
as She
appreciate
did
it.
as you can get. Yeah.
We're launching we're launching 4, at least,
that kid loves it.
and fulfilling 4 campaigns next year.
Yeah. That
Where's
kid's
that?
like,
Niall? Is
yeah.
it your house, or is that Adam's, baby?
That's Adams. That's Adams' little guy.
Or is that Sean?
That's my little guy.
All children everywhere.
Or is it Sean?
Is that Sean?
Yeah,
No,
it was
Sean's in the barrel.
I actually thought it was Sean for a second. I was like, what was that?
What the
Like,
hell?
Like, shut up, Sean.
Shut up, Sean.
Son of a bitch.
Too much spice in that. Too much spice in that horseradish in that Sonic burger, I think.
That's right.
There you go. Alterna backer number 35. Here's so glad for you and your team, Pete.
Thank
Wow,
you,
awesome.
Brian. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank
And
you,
also,
Brian.
I want to say too about oh wow, Andrew, thank you so much as well. Man, oh man. I wanted to say about Tyler is the great thing about Tyler is that he is not adverse or upset or not prone towards anger when I suggest more work to him. So he created this awesome character, the Swan King. And after we put out the one shot, I'm like, man, it would be awful to just like, that's it. That's all we see of this character. I'm like, is there a way you can possibly incorporate the Swan King into the Red Koi universe?
Lovely.
And he's like, oh, I didn't ever think about that. And I'm like, yeah, you should think about it.
He drops this on me. It was like
I
8
know.
o'clock. I was just like, I was drawing. This is just a random text. Hey, what do you think about this? Like, well, I didn't think about that. And now it's all I can think about. And I couldn't sleep that night. I had like my notepad next to the bed. I just kept waking up with ideas. And now that's, what we're working on now. And it's great. It's like my 2 favorite characters I've ever created. And now I get to just, have them together. So
And that's issue 6, right? That's when the
That's
Swan
issue
King
6,
makes
yeah.
his debut with. Oh wow, yeah.
Very excited.
The story he's got
Yeah.
planned for that. Every time I meet up with him and he talks about what he's got planned for his series, it's just I'm like, man, this is a generational story right here that you're creating. You're creating something like 10 to 20 years from now. You're gonna have people come up to you and be like, this was the reason I got into comics. Was this story?
Oh wow.
But I hope, man. I'm just trying to be,
I
true to
pray.
the characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy knows what that's like,
Not at all.
Oh, no one, give me a break.
I do. It's okay. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Every time I talk to
And I
him,
told you, Rob, I
say
told you I
something, he's
messaged
like,
you
you
by
gotta stop,
accident.
Blevins. Every time I'm like, Billy, your stuff is awesome. He's like, you got to stop that, Blevins.
It is funny because like my daughters are getting older, and one walked in, the other day, and I always have my art, just on the table there, whatever I'm working on. She goes, "Daddy, what is that?" I was like, "That's a mountain of skulls." She's like in your head? It's like, yeah. And we just shared this moment together. I was like,
And she
Sorry.
just pats you on the back, like,
Yeah.
"You'll be all right, Daddy."
Well, she's
You're
like,
work-
My dad.
"Are you sure that's what it is?"
Yeah.
it's like you're working
Do it
through
again,
something.
Dad.
I can see. She's way
She's
better
like-
adjusted than I am
Nightmares
already.
for the children.
Yeah, she's like, "If you ever need to talk, Dad, I'm here."
Maybe you
great.
need some rest, Papa. Have some rest, Papa.
Will we ever see more of Josh Howard, Pete, over at Alterna? Because the T-Bird and Throttle, that is a pretty epic series.
Yeah, I hope so. I know he's got more T-Bird stories planned. I know he's going to be doing a lot more with
Yeah.
those characters. But as
Yeah,
far
it's
as,
it's a great series.
yeah, it'd be great for him to continue it, and we'll have to just see. People have
Nice.
been really loving it. I think the book is great. This is issue 3 that we've got part of the lineup. Yeah, so we've got 10 issues part of this to just talk about the campaign for a little bit. 10 issues part of it for $25, or you can pick and choose the ones you want. So you can actually just get an issue for $2, $5 flat shipping for the US. So if you do anything like let's say you picked, I don't know, maybe you picked that collector case that's right there and you want to fill it up. Then you can go to the add-on section and actually pick and choose all the issues you want to choose, not just the new ones, the back issues to these titles as well. So if you look at it and go, oh, that's Tinseltown number 4 of volume 2, man, I missed a lot, but that title looks good to me. I wish I could catch up on that. Well, you could do that with this campaign, and you can order 1 through 5 of the first volume, and then you can order 1 through 3 of the second volume. So you don't have to leave and go to alternaaccess.com if you want. You can just stay right here, and that's it. Boom, done. But if you do want to get them quicker, you can go to alternaaccess.com, but you don't necessarily need to do that. You can get everything here in one stop, and we've got those 10 issues, and of course, Mighty Mascots number 4. That was in Keith's previous campaign that he did last year. So this is the first time it's being offered through Alterna. If you already have this issue, you're all set. You don't necessarily need another one. You could get another one, but keep Keith's signed copy pristine, hanging up on the wall, and you can read this one. Roughhouse with it.
Nice.
And it's the first appearance of the Boss Brigade.
Yes. Nice. So tell us a little bit about Mighty Mascots, Mr. Gleason.
All right, yeah. So if you're missing fun superhero books, then you need to have Mighty Mascots in your life. It's a throwback to 70s and 80s comics, like Marvel style comics. It's a group of serial mascots that were brought to life by a 3D printing accident, and they fight crime. It's a Saturday morning cartoon. It's like, when you read it, you're supposed to feel like you're watching Saturday morning cartoons with a big bowl of sugary cereal. So, yeah.
Ooh, Billy.
That's Mighty
Yeah, that's
Mascots.
gotta be one of the best sales pitch for a comic
I
I've
know.
ever heard, man. Holy shit, I'll take that.
What's your what would be your cereal of choice?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Mr.
that's a
Gleason.
good question. Quisp. Right up here.
Right
That
there.
was a
Right
clown?
Yeah, remember
Wow.
Quisp?
No,
One of
is
the
that
most
an alien?
delicious cereals ever. Yeah.
Didn't
Look at that.
Quisp
look
have a
at that.
clown or no? It had that.
No, it was an
alien.
alien. It was this dude.
Oh wow, you really like
That is a man that
You
loves
really do
Quisp.
like Quisp.
This is what Mondo's based off of too. This
Nice.
character.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Where'd you get that?
They just brought
That's
that out
one of
in
those
the
Funko things.
Funko Pop.
He mailed
Oh
in.
wow, okay.
One of the
He
few I
has to mail
bought.
into
Yeah,
that.
I don't buy a
Cut
lot
out
of
the
Funko, but
You mailed
UPCs,
in
put in
for
the
that.
$3 for postage. Like I
Yeah.
hope I get my.
You can't do
crystal.
that. They don't do that at
Well-
all anymore.
well,
you don't get jack
I
with your
know, right?
cereal.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
dude, Niles, I love it so much. I bought 12 boxes last year on Amazon.
Holy!
And
How
they're
many
all
are
gone.
left?
I ate them all. They're all
You
gone.
didn't save
Oh
one
my
for the
God,
stream?
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you? You knew this was going to happen. You
Every
didn't
stream,
prepare.
you should eat that live, Keith.
I know.
Mm.
A man has
Yeah.
got to be committed. A man has
Yeah,
got to be
dude,
committed to
I-
his
You should
craft.
do, like,
Where's
a
the bowl of
cereal
in the
review show,
box?
Keith.
Just going.
Where did
Yeah,
the
I just-
Frosted Flakes
Crunch,
fall in
crunch.
this love of
Yeah.
yours?
I just reviewed the Monster Mash cereal, which
Did
have
you
you
discuss
guys
the
seen that yet?
mouthfeel
I saw
and things
that,
like
yeah.
that?
You know, Frosted Flakes has a big marketing thing. That's what it is. I think that they really boost that. I think it's all commercial. I'm a little disappointed in Frosted Flakes. I got to tell you, except for 2
I
minutes
think-
in the milk. I don't
I think
that
they're great.
I'm a big fan.
Corporate cereal, man.
No, Frosted Flakes is the perfect
Indie
when
cereal
you-
only. Create your own, even better.
Yeah,
I didn't know this show was so
Cereal.
controversial. I mean,
Like, why is
it
the
is.
box wet?
What is it?
What?
What?
Why is the
Like, you
box
get the
wet?
box that- yeah.
Oh,
You
just
remember
pour
the
the
little
milk in the
variety
box?
packs, though? Little variety
Yeah.
packs of cereal. You actually could open them up and put the milk in the box.
Yes,
That's how you were
yes.
supposed to eat them.
Yes, I know.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Rob, your mind is blown. You're like, wait, that's what those dots are
that's
for?
not
Yeah.
true at all.
Cardboard?
Yes,
You guys,
Savage.
Do you
They're
guys remember how
perforated.
embarrassed you would be when your mother
is a
would buy
trick.
like the generic cereal, like Apple Dapples? And
Dude,
The bag, the plastic
Like-
bag of cereal. You mean? Yeah, they
yeah,
were.
yeah. like the
bag.
garbage.
Go to
bag
your room,
cereal,
Mom.
like
Apple
Walmart.
dapples? Go to your room.
Yeah, Apple Dapples.
Hey, Keith, how long does a box of cereal last? Like, do you have it for like breakfast and you eat it for dinner or later on at night? Like one box and you eat a box?
No,
a day?
well,
'Cause
I
I've done
used to,
that.
Billy. I used to. I've slowed down on that. Like,
Diabetes.
I will have like, I will have one in the morning, and then sometimes I'll have a little bit as a snack later on. But I kind of draw the line there. You know.
How many
But
bowls?
back in the day, I used to house boxes of
Are
cereal.
you guys like 3 bowls?
Well,
a
if you
meal,
look at the
guys?
food pyramid, you're supposed to have 6 to 11 servings of grain a day. Like, my God, as a child, I'm like, how do I eat that much? We don't have that much food. I'm gonna die.
That's why the bag of cereal was invented.
And then
Yeah,
3 to
so I
5
gotta
of this,
throw
4
that
to 6
out.
of that. It's like, oh my.
It was bigger than a sack of potatoes. You're like,
Yeah,
Here,
right.
have a loaf of
Massive
bread
thing of
with your
Please.
cereal.
No more cereal, please.
yeah. No, mother.
So that's why cereal is such a great discussion. Everybody has
It is.
fond memories of it. You
I feel
know?
like Emilio Estevez from Breakfast
No,
Club, just
it's a
pulling
really
it out of
nice
the
way
bag.
into it. Like the idea that like the box of cereal came to life because it's so childlike, right? That feeling of like, oh man, these characters on the box come into life, and then you've done it, right? It's what seems crazy is that isn't a Pixar movie.
Right. And
Right,
then,
that
also
is about
there-
Pixar movie because it's so
Get them ideas.
it's so attached to your childhood as an exciting idea. Like, man, how do these characters play out? You know, besides
Right,
drinking
and then
lots
I
of milk.
mixed it with my love of like superhero comics, but like good superhero comics, not the stuff coming
Well,
out
what
today.
defines
But
a
like,
good superhero comic?
I mean,
Yeah.
a classic Spider-Man, classic Avenger. I think
Yeah.
all that stuff is fantastic. You know, even old school Justice League. You know, like, you know, I modeled the stories after like the, you know, like Batman animated series, Justice League animated, you know, stuff that is for kids but adults enjoy too, and that's what the whole book is. You know,
Can I say
that
how
kind of
well
tone.
those cartoons hold up, though?
seriously,
Batman
right?
the animated series
yeah.
holds up very well.
Oh my
as an
God, it's
adult.
time-
That was in a
timeless now.
Saturday morning
They're
cartoon.
better
though.
than the movies.
I know. That's I guess a more
Yeah.
modern equivalent, but like
Yeah.
the Saturday morning cartoons, like maybe Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends or something like that, or
X-Men
you know,
was Saturday
Dungeons and
morning
Dragons.
cartoons.
What's that?
Yeah, Dungeons
X-Men
and
was
Dragons.
Saturday morning.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think more of like wacky racers.
yeah, there you go. Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, see, that's what
Yeah.
I watch because I'm like old.
Oh,
Or like,
I mean,
or like
I
the
watched
Ghostbusters cartoon.
GoBots. I watched GoBots and Captain Harlock. Those were the two. for
Oh,
me.
nice.
Captain Harlock's pretty cool, but GoBots, man, is just
Yeah, it seems like a weird pairing there,
With
Adam.
Adam, have you heard of
Side-
Transformers?
It's
Transformers
what
are
was
really good.
available in Massachusetts in
Transformers.
or school.
I like
I can only,
Adam might not have heard of them.
I went more for the Snorks and Care Bears. They really had a positive message. Like identifying who I am as a human being.
Yeah, I really
I
like
like
the
that.
Monchichis.
Yeah.
Well, Nile, you do have that big tattoo of the rainbow on your belly, so I guess
do.
that makes sense.
God,
It draws a lot of attention.
Pete, you totally dropped that publicly. I can't believe it.
He kept trying to show it to me at Terrificon. He's like, Pete, look at my belly. Look
He's
at
like,
my
"Are you
belly."
Nile?" I'm like,
And I'm like, I get it, dude. There's a rainbow on your belly. It shoots out and whatever, and there's love and stuff. You know, you love Care Bears. It's cool.
Hey, Nile,
there was a Tic Tac on my chest. I was wondering where it went for like 2 hours. What was that, Billy?
I posted a link for the Wacky Races Peugeot commercial. Now I don't know if you want to play.
Oh
it.
yeah, that's great.
It's unbelievable. Maybe we could play it without the.
Am I going to get a copyright strike, Billy?
Well, if you play it without the audio, you won't, right? How are they gonna know?
There's Billy. Did you see that? There's an amazing one of the Dungeons
How
and
would they
Dragons
know?
cartoon that
How
was
would
like
they ever know?
that was
How would
live
they
as
know?
well.
It was live.
That's it. Rat us out.
Wentland by Google.
Don't rat
Save
us out, bro.
$233 over 2 years
hell
with
is
our
that? Is that
premium
me?
subscription.
What's that, homie?
No, that's
Is that a Monchichi?
That's the Monchichi.
You know,
bro.
John Francis Daly is working on the live action Dungeons and Dragons. It was supposed to be based on the
Cartoon.
Saturday morning cartoon. I guess they
Did you see
abandoned
the
it.
commercial, the live action commercial?
Oh, absolutely. The
Yeah,
car
that's
commercial. Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Wacky races. Oh.
Man, they really
Yeah.
updated this. I hate reboots.
Really good. If you can play it without the audio, can you go big with it?
Well, we got to talk over it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk.
Oh,
over
so
it.
this is all with real people.
Yeah.
It's
real
not
people.
with like cartoon characters.
Yeah. Can you make it full screen? It's a great commercial.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
Such a great commercial. Look at
so
this.
great.
So they're racing. Look
Yeah.
at that.
And it's
Oh,
all
got a bomb.
That's awesome.
That's fun. You know, if you like the GoBots, you should give Transformers a go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about
I've heard about
lesser
that,
known.
but I don't know if I'm
You
gonna.
might like them.
Sorry, Paige.
Yeah, I don't know, Pete, if I can go there.
what came first? GoBots or Transformers?
GoBots.
They did, didn't they?
The GoBots came first.
Go,
Wasn't it like a
And then the
month?
American
Robots,
audience was like, we need
mighty
robots.
vehicles.
Oh, look, the hairy people, too.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
saw that.
You
tank
understand that? You got it?
roll over all those guys.
I mean, it was deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Though Captain Harlock, I think, was the one I really loved the most. But
Remember the Silverhawks?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
Look at this.
yes,
Look at
Tiger
that.
Shark.
Tiger Sharks. I remember that.
Dogs.
Silverhawks. Wasn't that like just Thundercats in space?
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
Thundercats
pretty
in
much.
water.
but
for
with
Tiger Shark.
silver armor, it was
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, silver
It was
armor.
cool.
Tallyhawk.
Now,
So,
So
Rob,
good.
question for you though: how
Yeah.
long? I mean, because you're venturing into Blood Realm Volume 3, and right for this
Oh,
for this fall preview.
No,
it's
this
4?
is 4 I'm doing I'm going to do a campaign for 4 at the end of October. This is for the
Okay.
collected issues of Volume 3 is on this one.
Okay, that is okay. Gotcha. Because I've read the first 2 volumes of that. It feels like that series has some real life in it. I mean, and,
Oh, good.
and
Thank
you're
you.
talking about 3 Volume 4. I mean, that's like 4 trades worth of material here. This is pretty impressive for an indie book to be running that long. You know, and
Thank
you do it
you.
alone, right?
Yes, it's all me. Yeah. So I tell everybody. So there's no sleeping at all.
It's just
Wow.
Rob and the voices. That's all there is.
Yeah. That's all.
Just
Yeah.
you and your thoughts.
That's right. So yeah, this one collects.
It's a pretty haunting series. It's like this dark.
Oh, yeah.
If anyone hasn't read it, it's just like dark, like horror fantasy.
Mhm.
I mean, is that how you describe it, Robert? It's pretty
Oh, yeah.
cool. It's a
Thank you.
really fresh horror experience that's set in this, set in a fantasy world.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was definitely the idea. Now in Volume 3, we have this sci-fi element that starts to happen. So
Oh,
yeah, I don't want to spoil because you haven't read it, but I will say that the main character there wielding that sword, and he's lifting that sword up. We've been talking about him from Volume 1 and Volume 2, just whispers, talking about the Iron Wolves, this ancient order of cleric knights, and how this leader, Chiron Morvel, he fell and disappeared kind of in this big battle with that demon above him, the one that kind of looks like a skull with the wires coming out of the side of his head. His name is Archdemon Targanis. So people have been prophesizing his return, almost like a messianic figure. And then sure enough, 2,000 years later, he appears. And so I'm just going to spoil it for you here real quick. Because I got
spoilers.
I got to promote the book.
Earmuffs.
I got to promote the book. So basically what happens, this character, this figure, really, so he was engulfed in this big cloud of dark magic, but he didn't die. He didn't disintegrate. He was pushed forward into the time stream. So what really it feels like it's been centuries where civilizations have risen and crumbled. It's been mere seconds for him, because so he just battled his arch nemesis, and now he's in this time period where the arch nemesis rules everything, where his evil is law. But again, it's just been seconds.
that's cool.
So now it's about him trying to come to grasp with this world that is just the complete antithesis of what he was fighting for previously. And now the very enemy he's been trying to slay is now the emperor of this world. So it's just merging that dark fantasy and the sci-fi together, and you kind of have this big classic. It's almost like an Arthurian tale because he's got to save the princess also, but it's a weird, dark take on it because obviously it's Blood Realm. We have to do things a little different, but
You're right, absolutely. Wow, see, this sounds epic. This sounds definitely a departure from volumes 1 and 2 as far as where this is going. This is super exciting. I added it, to my pledge because I need to know about this. I need to know this.
Thank you, Adam.
I gotta know.
Yeah, so it's been fun, and I always wanted to do sci-fi and horror. Sci-fi horror is like my favorite stuff, and I love the dark fantasy. But I was like, I always planned to go a little bit in the future, but I was like, if I'm really going to do this, I got to go big. I got to go epic. And it was harder because probably the biggest struggle out of everything was that I was so used to drawing this dark fantasy world, and then I start drawing the page, and I was like, oh my God, I have to figure out how this world looks now 1,000 years from now. There's going to be ships. There's going to be weird sci-fi and tech and everything like that. So I really had
post-apocalypse of the post-apocalypse.
Exactly right. So I had to make the sci-fi elements feel as if it would fit in the volumes that came before as well, because it couldn't be a whole departure. So it was a challenge, but it's in those moments where you really learn a lot about yourself. And I think I had a blast. I had a blast doing it.
What did you learn about yourself?
I learned that I don't like drawing planes and ships and stuff like that.
Rob, tell them how many of the creatures in Blood Realm came from your actual nightmares.
That is true. A lot of them have, yes. Especially the Shrive. The figures, they have these holes in their head. I know Peter hates this, but when I was a kid, I'd have those nightmares, and they just suddenly went away. But it was like, I would wake up and my arm would just be like Swiss cheese, holes all over, little clusters. Like
what?
Yeah, that's it. That's the Shrive right there.
Where is it?
Yeah, I saw this on your post today.
So what? You would wake up
this?
and you'd see the holes, Rob, and then
I would wake up and I'd see the holes. So I made a character. So that's like the hounds of the Archdemon Targanis. He sends them out to go hunt those. He's like basically almost like the Gestapo for them. You know what I mean? They hunt those who are not loyal to him. So I based them on the horror that I used to have, those nightmares. And then suddenly, gone, never had them again. It was strange.
Wow.
I would have them like
tonight.
Let them out.
That's some demon. That's some demon.
Now they're all out.
Could have
Thank
those
you,
nightmares.
Exactly. I exercised them so I could put them onto you now.
you foisted them. Therapeutic drawings all
That's
over
true.
the place.
It
Tons of
is.
drawings.
Brian's suddenly old. Getting close to 11K on the campaign.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Awesome.
And Pete, what do you got for us here?
Yeah, let's see this image I'm trying to share here. Yeah, we got the trading cards for the official Alterna series, and you can only get these cards by backing campaigns The first one here on the left is Aiko from Red Koi. That's the #1 card in the set. When we reach 15,000, we're going to unlock Chiron Morvel, who was just being spoken of by Rob.
Yeah, that's the warrior.
And that's going to be card #2. You can see the background as they start to connect and they start to have an overlapping theme there. But on the back of the cards, I don't have that up right now. On the back of the cards, there's biographies about the characters and also their Alterna attributes, which are basically their power stats. So you can see where these characters kind of square up against each other if they were, in fact, to meet up and battle. And I always loved that when I was a kid, the Marvel cards and whatnot with the power stats on there and, you know, seeing who was what. And I discovered a lot of characters from those sets. And then I would seek out the comics. So I'm hoping that for the readers that already read these comics, I'm hoping they get to learn something extra about these characters. And for those that maybe you're a Red Koi reader, but you're not a Blood Realm reader, maybe you get this trading card and now you're like, oh, whoa, this character sounds pretty cool. I got to check this series out. So you can get these cards again only through the campaigns, and every single backer, no matter what level, 1 issue, everything on the campaign, whatever it may be, you get a trading card bonus.
Nice.
Awesome. I really love the trading cards that the guys are doing out with all these campaigns now. It's cool to see that back. 'Cause I mean, you know, if you grew up, you know, in the early, you know, late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, I mean, trading cards were huge. I mean, there was a point where it seemed like the trading cards were more important to me than my comic books when I was collecting. But you touched on something that's really cool, Pete, is like if you were able to buy a whole set complete from the comic book store, the card shop, whatever, and you put it all in your binder, right? You put them all nice in the sleeves and they're in the binder. You go through and you're like, I've never seen that character before. There was always a couple characters that you never really saw, but it was neat because now you would go search for them, like you said. Like I would start searching. I'd be like, "Hey, you know, DJ, what's this?" You know, because we had DJ's Comics and Cards, and that's his name. I'd be like, "Who's this guy?" And then he'd take me through, and you know, I'd get like back issues and explore new characters. I love seeing the cards come back because it's nostalgic for me, but it's just a piece of history of what we did. It was just another extension of our character.
Yeah, and before a lot of our cards were kind of just like promo items that you can just have a nice fun image, but now they're actually towards building a set. They're numbered, they have stats and different things on them. I know Eric is screaming about that he's not a fan of stretch goals. These aren't a stretch goal. These are just a bonus.
Yeah.
Just a bonus. And you could do whatever you'd like to do with them. You could sell it, give it away, put it in the paper shredder, light it on fire, tear it up. Whatever you like to do, it's okay.
Put it in the spokes of your bicycle. Pretend it's a motorcycle.
It's just a fun extra for you, just backing the campaign. So a lot of people have been asking about stuff like this. I love stuff like this, and I wanted to make it so that we don't necessarily put out trading cards and packs and all this other stuff and have a full blown set with like 100 or 200 cards or whatever it is. But we're going to always be adding 1 or 2 cards per campaign. So again, once we reach 15K, that second card is going to unlock, and then everybody will get 2 of these cards. So the first 2 cards in the set you'll get.
Nice.
Cool. And it's a shout out here to Warren. I ordered the August bundle today. First time Alterna customer. Well, welcome. You will not be disappointed. I'll tell you that.
You have chosen wisely. Very wisely.
Thank you, Warren.
I can say that as a true fan. You know, Pete, one thing I was interested about is you said in a tweet, you know, after you had a new lineup of books, Can't Kill a Cade 2, Red Rose came out, and you said, hey, you know, we sold 4,000 books that week or something to that effect. I might be misquoting you on it. And I hope it seems like Alterna is on the rise, because I think that you're just doing such great work in the comic book space.
This is officially This is officially the all the last remnants of distribution, whether it was Diamond or a book distributor or Comixology or whatever. This is officially here it starts, where this is the new Alterna age. So this is what we're going to be doing from now on. A lot of it's direct to consumer. All of it's direct, actually, to both the customer and to the retailer. So retailers that also get our books, they order directly from us. It's been fantastic. It's been this campaign, especially comparing it apples to apples to doing these same books in the Diamond Previews catalog. It's already been better than any solicitation we've ever had through Diamond Previews. So, and I think that goes to And I think it goes towards the fact too that we're able to do so much more with it. You know, we're able to have the back issues. We're able to have a couple different new items on there. So it's so much easier to maintain and kind of curate and also promote, because a lot of the times we would tell people, you know, the books are in previews, you go to the local comic shop, let them know to get them in. And so there's all these different steps, and then they got to come back and get them. And it was a lot of, especially for people who were like, what the heck's a previews? What's a previews catalog? You know, a lot of people did not know what these things were. They were like, well, is there a link I can just order it at? And I'm like, I wish at the time there definitely wasn't. I know they're starting to do pull box and stuff like that now. I hope that takes off for them. That would be great. It's something I've been begging them to do for years. When we were with them, I was like, man, you really got to do something like this so people can just go right to a link and order the book and have it shipped to the store, etc. But this way for us has been fantastic. I can't picture us ever going back. And I'm so happy for the creators here, because they're making great books and they deserve to be read. They don't just deserve to be on a shelf at a store. They deserve to be in the hands of readers. And I love the fact that we're able to do this, both selling on the crowdfunder and selling directly on the site, especially.
Yeah. Now with your comic shops that you're supplying with books and whatnot, do you actively solicit new comic shops now that you're really like 100% full self-distribution?
We do business with shops, but to be honest, I'm more focused on doing business with the reader and getting the books to the reader. I've tried over the course of the past year to really get shops on board. And most of them just don't want any part of it. They don't want to order direct. They don't want to get the books there. They don't. Even when we were with Diamond, only 10 to 15% of stores carried us anyway. I'd say about a quarter of those stores stuck with us to order direct. It's a shame, because their customers they buy from us instead of buying the books from the store. And, you know, I'd rather they buy the books wherever they can get the books. And it would have been great if they could get them at the store, and if the store would order. I mean, we had the weirdest thing sometime. We would have stores that I would send them emails. There's multiple stores that were doing this. They would order one copy of each, and it's $5 shipping on the site. But if you order $25 or more, the shipping's free for the US. And instead of ordering like 2 or 3 copies per book to get that free shipping, they would only order one of each, and then they would pay shipping. And they would actually lose like 80 or 90 cents on the whole order, because their discount got negated. Well, Pete, and they would pay for shipping. And I would tell them, hey, can you boost up your order? This way we can actually, you know, really maximize the sales for you, and we can make sure that we promote your shop, that, hey, this store now carries Alterna. You know, go to that store, check them out. And if you can sell it to one customer, you put it on the shelf, you know you're going to get 1 or 2 more that are going to dig it. And they were like, oh, no, we're fine. We just want to get it for this one customer. I was like, yeah, but you guys are actually losing money. Do you realize that? You're losing money on the books. You should just tell the one customer then to order directly from us at that point. But, you know, we had about 6 or 7 shops that were doing that. And it just didn't make any sense to me that they would actually rather lose money than get in an extra copy or 2 of each book. It was so strange.
Well, Pete, I think your first step is you're going to have to stop selling your issues at $37.99 each. You're just too expensive.
I know they're the most expensive issues on the market. I know. What can I say?
I mean, it's absurd. You know, because the thing about it is, it's such a shame. And one thing I am excited about in this new world of direct to consumer business, you know, that has been created with people shopping online, and now that habit being a real thing. What is cool is then you can have a more modestly priced item because there isn't the middleman, right? And there's something exciting about that. And because then I can be the one guy in Connecticut or wherever that one customer, and I can get it. And then you don't have to run through this whole machine to get to the small guys out here or there who might be interested in it. I hope that creates a better future for publishers, you know, that customers become in the habit of like, oh, I want this comic. I'll just go to their website versus go to my shop, especially since people aren't, unfortunately, not going to shops as much.
Right.
You know, and I hope it does that too for everybody involved. I mean, it would make the creators more money, the publishers more money. It would be a better deal for the reader. Retailers, if they got on board with it, the publisher could pass that discount instead of going through Diamond to the retailer. It could go directly to the retailer, and they could actually then make more money on those items. But you know, at least with us anyway, we try to do as much as we can with that. But it's been really tough to get retailers on board to understand. I think some of them don't realize that it's real. That's an actual. It's an actual comic. It's $1.99. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Herrenberg says comic shop owners love when you offer free shipping. It has to be emphasized, or they won't take advantage of it. We've had many experiences with this.
Yeah. That's why I personally was like, oh, okay, they must be confused. I'll reach out with an email and let them know. And then it was like, oh, wow, okay, you don't want that. You are okay with losing money on the order. That was just very weird to me.
We had a lot of experiences at shows, Pete, where someone would come up to the table, they'd realize what the price point of the books. They'd be like, all right, I'll take all of them. You know, I'll take one of each.
Yeah.
And it was
Tyler's done shows with me, and he's seen it in action.
Yeah. It's a million times easier to sell books with Alterna now than it was at other shows with just my normal stuff at like $5 a pop, you know. People don't even think about pulling out their wallet at that price.
And it goes back to impulse buys too for comics, where before, you know, you're, well, who's writing it? Is it really something I'm going to be interested in?
Yeah.
You know, what's it? So now it turns into, oh, it looks interesting to me. Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. And at $1.99, it's like, well, you know, I'll actually grab a couple of these, because if you think about it, if you go to your comic shop now, right? What's a DC comic book now? $6, $8? What are they? Didn't they crazy price? Yeah, they're like $6 now or something like that. Like, that's ridiculous.
Let's find this out right now.
32-pager?
For a regular floppy.
You know, the thing that really gets me is you said you have people that have like complained about the shipping. Like, these stores have to know if they're ordering, like Diamond charges shipping, like all these other places charge shipping. So why
$7.99?
What that kind of reminds me of is like you ever see those? You ever go to a yard sale or whatever? Somebody's selling something and they want like $10 for it. You're like, man, I'll give you $5 for it. You know, or I'll give you $6 or $7 for it. They're like, no, I want $10 for it. And they're like, if you don't give me $10, I'm just going to take it down to the Goodwill and donate it. And it's like, well, you're just going to lose all your money instead of taking the money that I'm offering you. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to complain about not getting charged shipping when you pay shipping every time you order. And sometimes when they mess up your stuff, like you'll get a box and they'll have like one book in it, and you'll pay like $15 for this one book to be delivered. That was something that happened with Diamond a couple times.
Lord.
With me and other people that I know. It's just it's pretty insane.
Yeah. I will say though, you're only what do we got? $69 away from 11K.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
I think if we can make let's make it happen.
Woo.
That
Man.
69
Yeah,
or
you can-
69.
That magic 69.
And all these problems can be solved if people just back the campaign. All those shipping problems are solved.
Yeah,
Exactly.
crazy. Man, I do also want to say something else about this fall preview. You know, we were talking about Saturday morning cartoons. Like this lineup, the way that this deal is set up, it absolutely reminds me of like back in the day when I would watch the specials that they had on for Saturday morning for the new lineup.
Yeah.
Friday night. And you know, like it would be like the only time you would get to see, you know, they would actually have the characters come together from all the different shows.
Yeah.
You know, to come together. Like one of the biggest ones I remember is they had like all the characters from Saved by the Bell tell about all the cartoons that were coming out for that for that fall time period. And I mean, I think this is a great idea, and it seems kind of like a no-brainer. Like, I don't know why it hasn't, why it seems like just such a perfect fit.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
Definitely.
we're hoping we could do this every single time it's the first day of the season. So we want to have the first day of the season be synonymous with, there's a new Alterna campaign out. So this is the first day of fall. It was launched on that. And then we hope we can get one out there the first day of winter, the first day of spring, etc. So as long as everything that goes good, according to plan. 2020, 2021. We'll do what we plan on doing.
Right.
Nice, man. I love it. I love it. Now, with you really focused on crowdfunding and doing it, so like every season you're going to do your lineup, everyone can pre-order their stuff, get it set. You're really focusing on your website, direct sales to your fans, obviously utilizing crowdfunding such as an Indiegogo platform. I've been wanting to talk about this. I think you guys are good guests for this. I read an article, not even an article, it was actually a tweet that someone had posted, and this was maybe about a month and a half ago or so, that primarily I think they focused this at Indiegogo campaigners, that they're just grifting for profit, and that these platforms are just to kickstart your books, and then you go to the Barnes and Nobles and this and that it's not supposed to be meant to make a living off of. And, we're abusing the platform by just being grifters and just begging for profit and this and that. And, what, Pete, I'd love to hear your opinion as a publisher, as a business owner, as all that. I mean, I would love to hear.
Are you kidding me?
Your opinion on that comment made by another indie comic book creator.
Right. You asked me, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go first, and then everybody else.
And then I think Gleason looks like he's ready to jump.
Yeah, he's ready to jump.
He's hopped up on Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, he's like, as soon as I finish this bowl of cereal, I'll tell you what's on my mind.
Blueberries.
Rob, the vein. You're getting the vein.
The vein is getting a little crazy.
Rob got the vein. The shrives are coming out. It's all going.
I'm much more calm about this whole subject than these gentlemen are.
Yeah,
to me, it's just obviously that's the case. We're all a bunch of grifters, right? We're all just trying to make money and trying to make a living, and God forbid we do that whatsoever. God forbid you can make money. That
here.
And
all these days in comics.
We're all just making up. I mean, can you believe it? We're all making up stories, and these people are buying them. These aren't even real events. They're all made up. Where's the Ray Liotta meme? I need that right now.
Yeah, right.
Those sound like the words of someone who's very bitter, very confused, and really needs to look inward as opposed to looking outward so much. Work on improving your own life, and then you'll be happier, and then you can grift along with the rest of us.
Yeah, sounds like pure jealousy, to be perfectly honest.
It sounds like such a confused individual, which is 90% of Twitter.
More of an anger of not being as successful at crowdfunding.
It could be that the simplicity of it almost seems too good to be true, where you can just provide a product that people can choose to pre-order, and then you make it. I've only done one Kickstarter, a few years ago for the first kind of version of the Swan King. But I mean, that simplicity, it's a beautiful thing, but it's almost too good to be true, especially if this person thinks that you then should move that into some book deal with Barnes and Noble or another shop like that.
How dare you be successful? How dare you parlay success to success, move from strength to strength? What's wrong with you? Don't you know you're supposed to die starving and broke and miserable and insane?
Cut your ear off? Come on.
No, I thought Brian's.
Have some integrity.
Brian said said it best here. It's like he's like, how dare he pay for something that you provide for him that he expects to enjoy. Right. Nobody's here with a gun saying,
you got it, Brian.
Exactly.
Comic books.
Yeah, we're not saying it's a comic book mandate and you must do this, otherwise you won't be allowed to return to your place of work.
Comic book mandate.
Comic book mandate.
This isn't a vaccine, guys.
Yeah.
This is like sheer fun.
All I was gonna say
And
is
people are
take that
spending
misery
sometimes
and
as
go
much-
somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Bring your
Fucking
miserable
chill out.
self elsewhere.
Try it.
What's funny to me though is that they'll rail against the individual, the independent creator that's doing that, but then they'll champion the corporation that's shitting all over the creator
That's how it works.
and screwing the customer.
Yeah.
Also,
It's
just
very
jump
punk
on the
rock.
bandwagon and go with whatever
Yeah.
narrative that they hear when they've never bought a comic book or never funded anything
Oh,
like that before.
Those are the best.
They just jump on
they just jump on the narrative that was delivered to them by someone who was jaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Well, that's
That's
just
what I said. Misery
follow-
over there. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
get out of our way. You know?
It's funny. Eric Larson, I don't agree with a lot of his posts and things, but he did like post something in regards to kind of on the same line of like, championing the big corporations, and basically like was like, it's the whole, the Ditko family thing, the copyright issue. He's like, no, they have rights to the copyright. He's like, why are the fans rooting for the conglomerates?
I know.
Root for the creators. What is
It's like,
wrong with you?
seriously.
And like
I
so
see
many
that.
people are like, Larson, I don't agree with you on 99% of your posts, but hell froze over because I agree with you right now. And it makes perfect sense. Why are you rooting for root for the people creating these? For these, like, give them their rights, right?
I think they just
Let
think they're
them
not going to
pay
get.
for the copyrights to use the characters.
They're not going to get their stories anymore, is what it is. They
That's
feel
what
they're
they
not going to
think.
get their stories. If
Oh, we
somebody
could.
gets a dime
You
of
should
that
be so lucky.
multi-million.
Because no one researches. No one
If
researches.
that's the biggest,
You know what's funny now?
Then oh man, that would give me a whole other reason to cheer.
Yeah.
We should be so
it's-
lucky that they'll continue to not ruin all of it.
It's like with Cowboy Bebop, Nile, right? It's like the guy who made it, who drew it in his apartment, right, enslaved, who has a different opinion about the multi-billion-dollar, $240 to $300 a share stock company, says we're going to change all your stuff, and you're happy for them. Not the guy who was like alone peddling this manga.
Yeah.
Like, he gave his opinion. The poor guy's like, I gave my opinion, but nobody listened. It's like the guy, and then you're like, yeah, Netflix, way to do this right. And totally,
It's like,
crap all
screw that
over this
creator,
guy.
Netflix. Go,
Yeah, who
Netflix,
built
go.
this thing? Who built this thing with his bare hands? You with all the money and all the resources, you're the good guy.
Yeah.
And
It's
other
crazy.
creators
So
championing
backwards.
this is like, it's so like weird to me.
Well, because no
especially
one
some
does their
indie-
research. I was just
No,
talking to
nobody
Adam. I was
does.
like, TikTok is truth. Whatever some wacko posts on like TikTok
Right,
is
right.
truth to people. But if you actually research these things, it's like that makes no sense. That is a crime of misinformation. And like people are, and I legit have people come to me like, this and this. I'm like, what'd you hear that on TikTok? Like, yeah. I'm like, no, that's not true. If you don't
that how
know
they say it too?
something,
Yeah.
Google is actually a friend. Now, there's some misinformation, but there's a lot of research you can do. People need to research, but they won't. They're so freaking lazy.
Information at your fingertips everywhere. Imagine once they take it all away.
Supercomputers in our pockets.
There's no
Anything
excuse
we're
for other
geniuses now.
creators.
I don't have to do anything. You
But
know?
other creators,
we don't
it's
need
like
schools.
no excuse for other
phones.
creators to sit there and question this. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
no
what
excuse for
kills
them
me.
not to try it. I would invite them to try it, see how it works.
Too hard.
You know,
It's too hard. That's
It's
why
too
they won't
hard.
do it.
Tyler, that's
That is why.
work.
It's a lot of work.
Billy,
It's
right? I
100%.
mean, there's you get
Silly
phone
me.
How
calls
long
with
does it take
pros.
for you to draw a page? I mean, it must take you at least like 5 or 10 minutes to draw a page, right?
about it.
You just, it's like 5, 10 minutes, right? To draw a
Close
page.
to that, and then we'll be good. 10
You're not
Yeah,
hours.
it's just 5, 10 minutes.
Load, bro.
Yeah,
Don't do
Yeah,
it.
just a
Billy.
few
Don't
lines.
do it.
yeah.
Oh, this is a great
Crazy.
comment right here, really quick. Brian Suddenly Old. I was craving nostalgia, and the big guys were failing me. I took a chance on Alterna back in June, and have been impressed at the new way.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Wow.
Brian.
Awesome,
Thank
man.
you,
We appreciate
Brian.
you, man.
But I
It's
mean,
huge.
just to talk about how hard crowdfunding is. I mean, Billy, you've been in the industry for 25 plus years. I mean, you get creators coming to you, and it's like you explain to them, "Hey, man, it's a lot of work." And some are like, "Yeah, no, never mind."
Yeah, every few weeks, a well-known creator messages me, either through Twitter or Facebook or email, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll talk to you." And then they're like, "Holy shit!" And they're like, "Well, can you do this for me?"
Wow.
Do they really ask you that?
They really
Oh,
asked
yeah.
you to do it?
Oh
for
yeah,
them?
they asked
Wow.
me to do it for them. And I'll pay you. I'm like, "Yeah, it's all right."
It's a lot of work, man. So they got to fight. I feel like they got to fight, and try to keep their asses in as much mainstream as possible because they can't do this on their own.
No, they can't.
They don't have it in them.
People have no idea, especially this
don't-
level, the crowdfunding part.
Yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating about, let's just say, if we call them the SJWs that go out there and just attack people. They're like tattletales and all this stuff, and just the negativity and saying things like, "Oh, so disappointed in you," one pro texted and tweeted out to another pro publicly, mind you. Congratulations on all your newfound success. I hope it was worth it.
And you wrote, hell yeah, it was.
It's like, yeah, I can pay my mortgage, I can pay my electric, I can, feed my family. Hell
And
yeah,
all your
it's worth
selfishness.
Yeah,
all your selfishness. Well, Pete and the Alterna team, I've got to bounce. But you guys, anybody out there thinking about backing this campaign, these are great books. And I'm not saying it just because of these ones to come, but the legacy and this team right here is really, really talented. Anyways, thanks for letting me hang with you guys. Niall, Billy, Blevins.
Kids and Monsters.
See you later,
Sign
Adam.
up.
Yes.
Head on
Appreciate
over to
you, man.
Indiegogo.
Thanks,
Link
Adam.
in the
Much,
description for Adam Lawson's Kids
Thank
and
you.
Monsters coming October 12th. Sign up for that mailing list.
Truth. Sign up.
Boom. Thank you. Thank you, Niall. Yep. Sign up.
Good
It's
seeing you,
almost as
Adam.
good as these other guys' books. Yep.
Thanks, man.
Take care, Adam.
Awesome.
That's a great guy right there.
Oh, yeah,
He's
he's
a nice
dynamite.
guy. I like him.
He's
All
great.
right. $44 away from $11K.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
$44. Rob will take his shirt off and he
My
will
body is
stream
ready.
Geronimo.
That's
My
it.
body's ready for the 11th.
All right, let's get that 44.
Here we go.
Lawson, Jimmy.
Yeah.
There we go.
And the campaign's gone down.
Yeah.
There's a
shit.
massive refund.
5 refunds. 7 refunds. What is this?
Incredible. Flex, Rob, flex.
Niall,
Yeah, Rob.
Uh-oh, I didn't even buy tickets.
Yeah.
What's that, Mr. Tucci?
can somebody put the link in? Someone just said link, please. I don't know if it's for Adams or also for the Alterna, but just pop it in the comments.
Yeah, I'll throw it in there.
Yeah.
I'll throw that into the
It
comments
should be-
here. It's in the description
Yeah,
of the
it's in the
show. All
description.
links are
Yeah,
there
but
for
some people
everybody.
don't read the descriptions we've
That's
learned.
okay. We can accommodate. So when will the next anticipated lineup campaign be? Will it be a holiday Christmas adventure?
I'm
A
hoping
wintry
it'd be,
wonderland?
what is the first day of winter? I always get
I don't
that
know.
confused with the solstice.
21st of December.
21st?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Oh, it
right
should-
before Christmas.
Should hopefully be
I love presents.
around. Yeah, should hopefully be that date. But we'll see. I got my fingers crossed that everything works out because we've had printer issues
Oh my God,
the
everyone.
past year.
God, I had printer issues.
Rob, I've got the vein
World's
now.
falling apart.
Too much. God.
The world really is falling apart.
We don't need none of that.
Look at this. The world is falling apart. We're giggling like a bunch of happy
I
Indians.
know. It's a bunch
We
of
have
happy,
to. I have to.
Oh, it's so true.
bunch of happy
You have
clans.
to.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
What's
Billy,
going
do
on
you
right
find that there, especially with the at your
Shut
level
up,
with
Tyler.
the pros that you talk to, does there tend to be a difference between those who really want to work on those legacy characters and those who are more I don't know, loyal to their own stories and want to go their own way? Is that where the line tends to be drawn? Because you've always done your own
Yeah, I
thing,
always
right?
done my own thing until like, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. But there are the vast majority, especially mainstream pros, that has been their life's dream. A lot of the artists, more established artists, to draw and work for Marvel and DC.
now?
They want to be like Adam and Andy Kubert.
Yeah.
They want to be like. A lot of other guys that I came up with, like Brian Polito, Jeff Smith, Terry Moore, we were like FTW, man. We do our own books. Like we can own everything, and you get everything. Net, obviously. But there is a difference. I do feel though that this new brand of creators that have been literally really dominating the mainstream right now. A lot of writers, for the most part, they don't give a shit about comics. All they want to do is to use comics, and somehow by some insane way they're getting big Marvel and DC books, and the books are bombing. And then that book bombs, they get the title ends, and they get thrown on another book. And I think that Marvel and DC no longer cares about sales. To be honest with you, I think they're using it as a write-off, and I think they
Good,
are.
more for us.
Yeah, I think they're
Yeah,
fully
definitely.
engaged. Yeah, they're fully engaged in the woke agenda. They really are
Oh, that's clear. Yeah.
fully engaged.
Yeah,
And
I've hit a
because-
point recently where I'm at inner peace with all of it. It's
Yeah,
very
me too.
weird. I'm
I
like,
know.
Very
I
zen.
just
Very
don't care. You know, I'll see certain things and before they
Namaste.
would upset me, and now I'm like, good, let them do that with it. I really
Zen.
don't care
Things
anymore.
Become numb
Peter-
to it.
Peter
Pete, 'cause
Simeti.
it's like
Yeah.
literally every week there's something to be outraged about, you know.
It's
But it's
just
like
we
you
have-
just let it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, I was going to say we have so much going on at Alterna. It's such an exciting time here at
Yeah.
Alterna. There's so many things that are happening for the future. For right now, I got my own comic series that I'm working on too. That's going to be coming out in May 2022. So it's all these different things that are happening that I just look around, and then there's just so many great indie comics being made right now by everyone all over the place, and they're doing it the way that I've been waiting like 15 years. 15 years to see. And as you can see, 15 years.
Badass.
So it's so exciting to just see all this stuff, all these independent creators, these entrepreneurial people coming on board and being creative and doing wonderful things, not only with their own creations, but also great stuff and wonderful things for the readers too. So just to see all of that happen, and then you look at the mainstream, and I'm like, man, they're so lost. I have pity for them at this point.
Well, they're doing a favor to the indie creator
Yeah.
because they're pushing readers away.
They
And
are.
so where are they going to go? They're going to explore other areas. They're going to check the Kickstarters. They're going to check Indiegogo. They're going to find a new creator and become part of a new audience, because what you're doing, what you're all doing, and what the indie community doing is now everything those great indie creators did back in the day have the leverage of the internet, right? And they have a way to make now the independent process personal. So you're not just a fan of an indie comic. You're part of that indie creator's journey. You're part of his creative team. You're the fan base. You can literally go on streams like this and hang out with that creator, possibly get your questions answered. Who knows? Maybe they'll even offer a link where they invite fans on to chat. I mean, it's a totally immersive experience that you will not get from mainstream. And the joy of having the mainstream creators come over here is is it building up some more competition? It is, but it's also bringing more people in, because as the Aaron Leprestis come in, Graham Nolans and Andy Smith, all these big creators coming in, they're looking at their books, but your book may be in the recommendations. Your book may be right under them, because if you go on Indiegogo, it's a mixed bag. It's not like usually, you don't have Billy Tucci's, Graham Nolan, Ethan's, Fraga, all these guys. It's not all their books together. It's mixed into everything. So you get the chance to explore. So with bigger names coming in, it's helping everything. And when with the big two just pushing their fans away, it's helping too, because now we're taking their audience.
Yeah.
Slowly. But again, crowdfunding, you don't need to sell 200, 300,000 books to make a decent living, because you're offering something far greater than a floppy. You're offering an experience, you're offering a bundle, you're offering stretch goals, you're offering, different accessories to hold your comics, stuff that is all part of that Alterna experience, or all part of the Gleason experience, or Tyler's experience, or Rob's experience.
Well, honestly, it all feels like an
Shut up,
instantaneous letters page is what this feels like.
Yes.
That kind of
Mhm.
communication, that
Interactive.
kind of engagement.
Yes.
So back in the day,
Original
you would get the
art.
letters page coming in, you would get all the different letters from the different readers, and you would see, they liked certain storylines, like certain characters, all these types of things.
Yes.
And now we can instantly see, okay, they're enjoying certain stories that feature this character, or they really like when we do this with an issue or a character or whatever, or they like this series, or they like, all these different kinds of things. And it's you can instantly pivot and say, so Tyler, for instance, like I said with Swan King, I read that issue and I'm like, there needs to be more of this character, and I view myself as the biggest, most number one-erist fan of anything at Alterna. So my word carries a little more weight, a little more.
It does.
But
About
he'll hear it from me first, where I'm like, look, this is something you're onto, something that's really great. You got to integrate this character into your main storyline some way, because this can't be the last we see of it. you know, and it's as a fan of the book, as a fan of the character. That's why I'm saying it. And to have that kind of response, not just from me, but obviously we get that kind of response from all of our readers when we're doing something that they like and or that they don't like. And we're able to learn from it. We're able to take that feedback and grow. Whereas, I mean, we've seen, I'm not going to go into it, but we've seen the way the mainstream handles that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
It's, you know, not that great.
Well,
So,
yeah, I think a lot of people can't deal with the fact that, you know, with these crowdfunding campaigns, it's the ultimate let the readers decide. Because if they don't fund it, you know, that means they don't want it. And maybe that's too much for people. That's too much criticism. Oh my God, my book didn't get funded. How, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I can't see those people handling that.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing. Sorry. No,
go ahead, Billy.
Is that like, it's going back to, is that every creator I know, mainstream creator, pros, they all want to do crowdfunding. But believe it or not, a lot of them are scared to go to Indiegogo, even though they believe that it is a more how do I say
better
yeah,
platform?
but it's a more, I think it's a more user-friendly platform, maybe superior in some aspects, but they're afraid to do it. And also, so they want to go Kickstarter, but then again, they do Kickstarter for the few that do. And if that big audience was there, all these people screaming on Twitter and canceling people and destroying careers and stuff, if those people actually bought the books and all the likes that someone gets, you know, because it doesn't cost a dime for a like. I bet you it costs you $1 for a like or $1 for a tweet. These people be tweeting 99.9% less than they're doing. But that audience isn't there for those, so they're kowtowing to an audience. And Nile, we've had this conversation so many times, right? They're kowtowing and kissing the ass of an audience that doesn't exist.
That's right.
They're not buying.
They don't. They just want to be a part of the good fight, but they're not.
Yes.
The problem is the almighty dollar is not being spent.
Because they don't have any money.
Yeah.
And they're probably still reading the books, but they're stealing them.
They're probably
online,
downloading them
Yeah,
illegally.
it's exactly what's going on.
So,
Exactly what's
so
going
Peter,
on.
I have a question, and I don't know if this is the right word, but like with this renaissance of Alterna coming in, like are your plans to try to maybe find some more like artists, some more creators to bring on to Alterna to kind of, I guess, expand your selection even more? Or are you?
yeah, I mean, well, the door is always open. Our submissions are open 24/7. But there's so many submissions that we get, and then there's also so much that's already going on that I'm never in a scouting mode. If something looks particularly good and I think maybe the creator might be interested, I'll tap them on the nose and be like, hey, what about Alterna? Want to take it here? But that rarely ever happens. I mean, it's also something else too, where I'm finding we're becoming also like a republisher. And what I mean by that is it's similar to what we did with T-Bird and Throttle and what we did with Downcast as well. So there'll be creators out there in crowdfunding land that are putting out a great book that I think would be a good fit for Alterna if they want to bring it over, and we could single issue it up and have a different cover, you know, and all that kind of stuff that we do at Alterna for each single issue. And if they're open to it, great. If they're not, that's fine too. But I'm finding that that's more of where I'm starting to lean into when I scout anything. Other than that, the submissions that come through, we still get every now and then, maybe 5 a year out of the maybe 2,000 or 3,000 submissions we get that I'll accept. I know that sounds like really rough. But
Have the submissions not ramped up?
We get about 150 to 200 a month. But the thing is that I'm finding a lot of people, and I've said this before, they're rushing to get published. So they're not ready yet. I'm finding 90% of the submissions, you know, and they'll flat out sometimes tell me, this is the first comic I've ever made. I've never drawn anything before. I'm learning as I go. And that's beautiful. That's a wonderful thing. But don't take that to a publisher. You're not ready for that yet. You know, give yourself some time, improve, work on your craft, and continue to get better with it. And also, honestly, continue to discover whether or not you actually want to do this. because the worst thing that can happen is you're going, I'm doing this for the first time, and maybe they'll, what if Alterna was a publisher that just took anything? And so we do that, and now the creator goes, oh man, I gotta get this issue out, and I have a contract, and I have a deadline, and I have to make sure I'm really in this for like the long haul. And I just discovered that maybe I'm 5 pages in, and I don't want to do this anymore. So if you're a creator, give yourself that time, be patient, work, put in the work.
I just see like you you obviously have mastered the crowdfunding. I mean, you've been doing it for a while. Like you're definitely above average to everybody else. But like with the submissions and the way things are going with the mainstream, and being a publisher itself, like I would see a great void to be filled with you taking art submissions and maybe pairing them up with some story submissions, and you creating the tag team duo with them.
That would defeat a lot of the creator owned. I get what you're saying, but Alterna is creator owned, and that would be the antithesis then of what we're doing, because then that would be taking someone's story, someone's writing, pairing it up with someone else as an artist. And then am I going to pay for both? Because if I'm now going to pay for both to create something, I want them to create what I want them to create, and I want to have control over how that gets created. Gotcha. I want to have editorial control to make sure that the standard is there, as opposed to what happens with Rob, Keith, Tyler, everybody at Alterna, which is they make their stories, and when same thing goes when someone submits, and I'll say it's not a right fit, it's not a good fit for the story for Alterna. And they're frustrated sometimes by that. They're like, why don't you give more feedback with that? Well, I do give feedback when I find someone is very close to it. So maybe like you need to fix the letters or the inking or the colors could be, they would work if they were this or that. But when it comes to the story, if I'm going to tell you your story should be more like this, and you should spend more time with that character and develop this story this way, all of a sudden I'm not evaluating a creator-owned submission anymore. Now I am a co-creator.
Yeah.
And now I'm telling you how to make your story, and I don't want to do that. So when it comes to that sort of thing, I'd rather be more hands-off with that. Now, in the case of something like what happened when I was saying with Tyler, he could easily been like, yeah, Pete, shove it. I don't want to do that. Swan King is dead and done. I'm sticking with what I want to do with my story.
He's like, I don't trust people with hair.
Yeah,
it's true, by the way.
Yeah, I'll be like, well, what if I cut it all off? I'll do it, Tyler. Anything, just get the character in. So there'll be times like that where a creator will always be feeling free to bounce an idea off of me and know that I can give them my honest feedback about it. It works, it doesn't work. I think you should do that. I don't think you really should do that. But at the end of the day, it's their decision. So if they're 100% full tilt, no, this is how the story has to be told. That's the way the story has to be told. That's it.
What an incredible answer.
So it's different.
I'm serious. I mean,
like
it's such a great answer.
It's about having, to me, it's about Alterna is all about having the utmost respect for the creator and for the reader.
Yeah.
And if we start to waver too much in either direction of not having respect for either one, it turns into the big two. I hate to say it, but and that's something we don't want to do. Very similar to George Washington. I didn't defeat a king to become a king. That kind of thing. So I'm not
just quoted George Washington.
I'm not trying to become that level. I'm trying to become something different. I'm not trying to be Image. I'm not trying to be McFarlane or Stan Lee or whoever else. I'm trying to be Peter Simeti. That's all I know how to be. I don't know how to be anybody else. Love me, hate me, whatever it may be. That's what I am. That's who I am. But it's all about
you am.
Exactly, and that's what I am. And it's all about making these great stories for everybody.
And you're $29 away from 11K. $29.
So close.
So close.
One thing I'll say about working with Pete, especially those conversations, is he's got he's so embedded in story and understands how story kind of naturally ebbs and flows and where to go. I'm telling him the things that I'm thinking about doing. He's like, yep. Think about this. Yep. And like he knows the beats. He has a sense of where they're going, and I'm kind of picking them up as I'm going on, but it's like he's got a larger understanding of kind of where it's going. And we're always able to send a message, tap into the, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And that insight is, I mean, you can't say enough about it. I mean, we're lucky to have it.
Well, thank you,
agree.
man.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of sexy women, hey, the She Omnibus Edition Volume 1, the Indiegogo exclusive. What?
Dude, scroll down, bro.
I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling.
It was the hair, Pete. That's why.
Scroll.
Half Chinese.
You
So
passed it. Scroll back
Oh,
up.
I gotta scroll back up.
Right.
Oh,
there.
whoa!
The
Expanded to
500
500
pages.
pages.
Smoke.
It's going to the printer
Wow.
tomorrow. Scala, thank you for that fantastic ad. Page 496
96.
plus 5 or 6 or 7. It's actually more. End sheets going in there. Come on, man.
Unbelievable.
come on.
So, and this book is only $60, and it went once this campaign ends on our barcode $79.99.
Oh my
What?
god,
Nice.
That's right. You can only get it for $60 with this campaign.
$60. That's 12 cents a page. That's great.
What a steal!
What a steal!
So I wanted to put that and thank everybody. We're over. I think we're closing in on $258,000 for our No Fan Left Behind campaign.
It's crazy.
When are you closing the campaigns? Do you
Probably
have a
once
date
we
set?
start, once we get the books in and we start fulfilling.
Okay.
Because even though
Time's running out. Time is running out.
It's so funny because once we start fulfilling, we get a spike, but it drives Debbie freaking crazy. So when we launch our January book, we'll just add them to it. It'll be part of the campaign, this hardcover omnibus, but it's going to be $80.
Nice.
Wow.
Congrats, Billy. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
seriously.
Thank you.
Wow.
So I thought I gave you that so when we say goodbye, I would just say, oh, and by the way,
Well, there's
Thank you, everybody.
Brian made this comment. He said, "Oh no, it's getting mature in here. Thought this was about funny books." So I figured it was a good segue. And he said LOL, so I did my job. That means laughing out loud. That's what the kids say.
Is that what the, is that what
I thought it
the,
was LOF.
is that what the scuttlebutt is, Nile?
No, that's when you've eaten a lot of hot sauce.
Oh,
Awkward silence.
awkward.
Hate the awkward silence.
Awkward. Speaking of silence, hey, Keith Gleason.
Hey, what's going on?
He's
This
ready
is
to go because he's got a bowl of cereal. He's ready to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. But no, this has been a great show, guys. Pete, I really appreciate you joining us. Tyler, Rob, Keith. I mean, your books are great. We only hear great things about Alterna. I mean, we've been a fan of Peter for a long time, ever since we met Keith and Rob, Tyler. Now you're one in the mix now. You're
Thank
part
you.
of this Pop XP world. Sorry. No, I mean, it's really great what you guys are doing. I love it. I love having you on. You're fun. The books are great. I never hear a bad word about what you guys are doing. And I just like what Pete does. He just plays by his own rules.
Me too.
I like it. And that's
I
it.
like it.
You
are
get-
You are a Stan. You are a Stan. Stan had a soapbox, but I'm more interested in the Simeti box.
Pete's podium.
Pete's podium. That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete's Simeti box sounded kind of weird. Huh?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, let's go with the Pete's podium. I just a box of information, a
That's
podium
what-
of knowledge.
Honestly, the YouTube chat, they had named that like a year or something ago. Whenever I go off on a tangent and I start pontificating, they're like, it's Pete's podium.
He's
Very
pretty good.
Now, are you
Yeah, I
gonna
like
be?
that.
Are you doing any conventions, Pete? Or you got anyone going
What are
around
those?
representing Alterna?
Conventions.
Oh, he'll be doing
Comic
one,
book
right,
conventions?
Pete?
You don't have to go to no convention.
Is that like it's a type of oven, right? Convention oven?
He'll be doing my show.
No, it's
That'll be
convection
the
oven. That's right.
It's a hot event, that's for sure.
Oh,
Keith, when's
I'll be
your
doing when's Plastic
Uh,
City, Keith?
July 16th, 2022. Billy, invite if you want to come down.
I would love
birthday
to.
weekend.
I would
That's
love
like
to make
the-
it, Keith, but I'm so busy.
That's the week before
I'll
San
go.
Diego, dude.
It is. I know.
Yeah,
I lose a few people because of that.
I would love to, but if you move it, I could say it's just that week we're locked in, and like the 4 weeks before that, we're just it's
like
crazy
killer,
because
yeah.
there's so much money at stake, and that's the only show that you pay for.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And
yeah.
it's a big. You pay a lot of money, but you can make
totally
a lot of
understand.
money.
Which one is that?
You know what I'm
San
saying, Blevins?
Oh,
I'm gonna have my birthday.
So you're
party
saying you're
on.
telling Keith to I just merged
that was
your
his
first and
Viking
last
name.
Lord Keith.
All I'm saying is that San Diego, we're talking about a lot of boogers.
Yeah.
You know?
So you want him to reschedule? You want him to reschedule his convention? Reschedule it. And
Well, the problem,
you're saying.
yeah, the problem is then I start butting heads with like Terrificon and Fan Expo and everything. That's why it's hard to move. And
I don't care about that. I'm not going to those.
I know. Well, the thing.
I'm gonna have an Alterna themed birthday party at that convention, and when the fireworks goes out, it's just gonna be tons of like Simeti confetti all over the place.
I like that.
Simeti confetti.
If you pick it up,
Nice.
does it look like Pete?
Yeah, it's like little comic book covers.
No, they look like the little icon in the corner here. You know, Pete's
Yeah, there you
icon
go.
with the hat and the headphones.
oh yeah.
That'd be awesome.
What we're
But,
going to
like,
do in
glittery.
2022 is we're going to start AlternaCon, and AlternaCon is going to be taking place at a bar outside of every major convention. Say, go over here instead.
There you go.
Actually, Keith, plug your convention. You know, some
Yeah,
people are asking in
Plastic
the chat.
City Comic Con. We had to cancel for the last 2 years, but we're back July 16th, 2022.
Where is
Fitchburg, Mass. Fitchburg, Mass.
it? Fitchburg, Mass.
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 5 years. I know Pete loves it, right, Pete? You
Oh, it's
one of
a
your
great
best
show.
shows that you've done.
Imagine if right now I was like, no, it's trash.
Oh, Billy, like the
No,
yeah,
it's a
imagine.
fantastic show. It's
Billy,
the
what I did was I
best show,
approached it
honestly, I've
from
ever been to.
the point of view of us behind the table. Like I wanted to show like the 90s when it was all about comics, artists,
Mhm.
you know, that kind of thing. So I made it $5 to get in. I have free parking. It's an empty hockey rink. So we put all the vendors on, you know, on all the
He
tables. On the
practically made it for me.
we have like about 150 tables. It's like a wonderful day. It's a day show, which is perfect. You only come down for one day. And people that do the show do great.
Nice.
Great.
Very
at it.
comic centric show.
How far away from Holliston
Great.
is that?
It's probably maybe about an hour and a half. How far is it from there to Worcester?
Worcester?
Yeah.
Maybe 40 minutes or so.
Okay, so it'd probably be another 20 minutes on top. So about an hour and probably an hour and 20 for you or
Got a
something.
dunks over there?
A lot of mass holes at that con, though, right?
You got a dunks?
A lot of
Of
them.
course.
A lot of but they spend money because they don't have to blow it on celebrities and autographs, you know. So,
Ah,
Nice.
so that's the other great thing, you know.
Oh, geez. Trouble's in the chat.
Oh,
no.
Bear, what up, Art?
Body bear.
But yeah, Billy, if I ever get a date that's not around San Diego, I'll hit you up to come
You
up.
should do 2 of them a year.
Yeah, you know, might be a possibility. Might be a possibility.
Nice. Very cool. Well, hey guys, thanks so much again for hanging out. Let's see. Did they make it happen? I was really hoping to leave. And made that.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
they
hoping
did not
we
make
can
the
hit
11K.
Otherwise, we need to have words.
Yes.
Come on.
$29, people.
Tucci pledge. Come on, guys.
Come on, Art. You better pledge on this, Art.
Art,
29 bucks.
come on, Art.
29
Art
bucks
already
away.
has all of them. He already
I know.
has
Art
them.
has everything. He probably has. He even has the winter lineup somehow.
That's literally one fall bundle. If we get
got the
one
ultimate
fall
hookup.
bundle, that's $25 plus the $5 shipping. We'd be at 11,001. Who's out there? Who's out there?
come on
You guys
now.
are out there.
Who wants comics?
We're not
T
ending the
stands
show
for trouble. You are right.
until-
now. That's right. We're not leaving until this.
No,
hits
and it's
11K.
going to be awkward silence. We're just going to stare.
Yeah, just
You guys like summer
Stare at it,
sausage?
yeah.
You
What
don't
was
have
that?
do you like summer sausage?
No, but I could tell you do.
Oh, snap.
I eat it in one bite.
But they know what your mother does.
That just happened.
That just happened.
That
Hey.
just happened in a bad way.
Now you know what the pop means in Pop XP.
Oh.
Oh. All right, now we're all gonna stare at this guy first.
Come
Wow.
on, baby. You know you
Shirt
want it.
off.
Back it. Let me get the vein going. I can't. I lost it. Can't get the vein.
So is that your DVD collection in the back?
Oh, it's almost there. DVDs over there.
Yeah. What's your
They're all
favorite
got
DVD?
Video games.
He's flexing to show the DVD.
Oh, the DVDs over there. Oh, those.
Where?
I got confused. I didn't know which ones you meant. Oh, I got a little manga over there, a little Sergio Tappi.
The beach is over there, guys.
Be careful. Art may want to spread the. He may do want to do a creative flow with you. Get those creative juices going. He's all about it. You weren't there. It's an inside
Man,
joke.
Art needs to quit biting people, though, for real.
I know.
He's got a problem.
Jeez.
Art's
All right,
biting people.
We're checking it again. Come on, 11K people. Come on. Cameron, Rad Rose was awesome. It hurts me that number 2 isn't in this campaign, but maybe winter.
Maybe.
Definitely winter.
Oh,
Actually,
definitely
we had a question. Someone was asking if you were going to do like another book like you did for your 10th anniversary.
Oh, yeah, we did the Alterna Anniversaries anthology.
Yeah.
I think I don't
For
know
your
if it's
15
not
year?
going to be for the 15, but for the 20, we'll definitely do something. Although I'm wondering if we should just wait till the 25th, you know. So you 3 got to be with me for 10 more years.
There you go.
Done and done.
He makes the rules, guys.
Yeah,
He makes the rules.
Those to breaks.
There you go. But hey, I hope you hit 11K tonight. You guys are
Yes,
doing awesome. The books are
refresh.
awesome. I'm refreshing it.
We hope we hit
Let's see. Come on.
20K tonight. Fuckers.
Come on.
man.
What is going on?
It's like SJWs.
SJWs.
Jeez.
Oh man. Oh
I
man.
can't believe Art is letting us down.
I know. Art.
It's there.
Come on, Art.
Apparently,
he's
Art
there.
is letting us down. This will be over with for Art.
Did it happen, Art? Are we 11K?
It did happen. It did happen. Come on.
Did it
I'm
happen?
trying
Why is
to-
it not refreshing?
It didn't happen.
Ah!
This is horrible.
11K.
Why isn't it refreshing?
Why isn't it refreshing? Come on, people.
Art is just
Ronnie
cheering for
writes,
11K.
just
He's
back.
not-
Just back. Maybe it hasn't
Just
processed
back,
yet.
nice.
Ronnie, are you the golden ticket winner?
Ronnie,
right
are you
now?
the guy?
Ronnie,
Yes.
dude. Yeah,
About time.
Nice.
Cheap
Ronnie
bastard.
gets a front row seat at the next Pop XP show. We're doing
There you
that.
go. I'm gonna
We'll
send
buy you a
Ronnie
beer
a
at
slap
Alterna Con.
bracelet.
Front row.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys, you made 11K. Awesome. Now we're on to the road. So now 24 days left. That means $1,000 a day, everyone out there. So share on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. Let's bring this campaign to over 20K. Great lineup, great books. Alterna's the way to go. And thanks again, guys. It was a blast
You guys
hanging
are
out
the
with all
best.
of you.
It
I
was
had
a lot
fun.
of
Thanks for
fun.
having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always a
I
pleasure.
had fun. Tyler, your book's amazing. Ron, amazing. Rob, amazing.
It's okay.
Mr. Gleason, amazing. I know I'm messing up. I haven't even had. Any
It's because
alcohol
it's
tonight.
Geronimo, you know, if
I
it's
know.
like
Yeah.
Geronimo, then you'd remember it.
There
It's
you go.
true.
And Billy Tucci, always so amazing. Dr. Blevins is back in the house. Always amazing. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night. We're going to have Aaron and Shelley LaPrestion.
Yes.
Wraith of God will be talking. We're going to be talking cancel culture, the attack, the under siege they were in. And Shelley
damn.
came up wielding a sword and fighting the good fight. And here
Good
they are.
Lord.
They're about to break 100K.
She's
On their
not
campaign,
messing
so we're going to hang
around.
out with them. She's not messing around. I like
She
it.
is not messing
She is a
around at all.
boss lady, 100%. I feel safe. I feel safe now. But everyone have a great night, Mr. Tucci. Great show, buddy.
Namaste. Great
Great
seeing
show.
you boys.
Yeah, you too, Billy.
Great to see you
Billy,
too, man.
Great
too.
show. And make sure to back the omnibus.
The
Omnibus.
The omnibus.
Omnibus.
Oh, and good night, RT Bear.
Good night,
Yes,
Art.
right.
Hey everyone! Thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you soon.